Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome again to another episode of Sklarbro Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
AKA two twins for the wins,
aka two Jews, no tattoos,
you give us 30 minutes, we'll give you some of the dumb world,
aka one man, two man, one Afghan,
AKA one pair of glasses, two asses.
There you go.
There it is.
Hey, we're recording this right before the weekend. We're about to go do a live stand-up show, which we're doing every Friday for JFL at the Just for Laughs Facebook page and YouTube page. You can check that out. Really fun stand-up show that we're hosting with really
so
great
we did
people.
it last Friday. This drops on on Monday, this episode. So you can go back on the JFL Facebook page or
And
YouTube page, watch
the
what
last two.
I'm going to say was a great show.
Yeah,
It's
they're
called the Sklarantine Comedy Hour. We bring on comedians. They do 4 minutes, and then we discuss comedy with them and maybe pitch them a tag or two. It's pretty fun. Also on June 4th, which is a Thursday, Randy and I will be headlining the Nowhere Comedy Club. That means anywhere in the world
you can
get
watch
a
the
ticket.
show. It's going to be a blast. We'll make sure you know exactly how to get on that. And we just did a guest set with Wayne Fetterman this past Monday. It was so much fun.
It's so much fun, and they cap the amount of people that can be in it. I think it's only
400,
390 or 3. So I don't know if we'll get more than that, but certainly if you're interested in doing it, don't sleep on it because you might get shut out. And we'll let you know when those tickets go on sale. But that should be really exciting. I think it's between $10 and $15 a ticket. So not much to watch us do.
An hour of comedy. It's like going out to see a comedy club.
In your own
and
house.
we actually get to hear you laughing. So it was the closest approximation to doing stand-up in this crazy world as
we've
possible.
got. Yeah.
And we are living in a crazy world. So let's jump right in, shall we?
Let's get into it.
In the same vein of the story we did yesterday about the guy, or last Friday, about the guy who planted the bomb or said there were bombs, but there were no bombs. And he was like, I was just checking the FBI's run time, like your reaction time.
Your response time. And
no one asked you to check that thing. It's like, don't start doing that. Is okay. This guy didn't do it for a YouTube page.
No.
But he's a jerk. Like,
he's a dummy because no one asked you to do it.
Too much time on his hands, and so that's going to open the door for what I'm going to call YouTube pranksters.
Yeah.
By the way, we have a YouTube page, Sklarbro Country. Sign up. Okay? That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube pranksters, to me, never see the idiocy of their ways. Like they in no circumstances are they ever shown the light and understand the light.
Right.
They're just not. Like Logan Paul going into the Japanese suicide forest. Did he learn his lesson?
I don't know.
Do you think he learned his lesson, Jay?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. All right. Well, on May 11th, here we go. 2 Florida teenagers, of course, were busted for running around a Walmart coughing and spraying workers and customers, not just customers, workers and customers with Febreze.
I guess it's better than fart spray, but Febreze is pretty nasty.
And they told cops that they were just trying to be funny and make their videos
so
for
what
YouTube.
they would do is sneeze and Febreze would come out.
Sneeze.
And they're like, that's our way of trying to pull off a prank.
Even in a perfect world that we're not quarantining in because of a pandemic, that's a dumbass thing to do.
So I don't
someone.
condone violence by cops and excessive force.
No,
but
me either.
This is the point at which you're like, you could choke them out.
All right. Responding Saturday evening to a report of a disturbance at a Walmart, that could be anything. And that could be every Saturday night.
Look, the fact that there's a lot of stuff going on at a Walmart right now already makes me sad.
2 cops located 2 subjects who had driven away from the Vero Beach business in a pickup truck. Really? A pickup truck? Guys, come on. 2 hack. It's hack.
You can do better than that.
The sneeze and Febreze, that's hack. The pickup truck is hack. Do better than that. All right? If you're going to Walmart in Florida, also, for the people who are traveling to Vero Beach to the Walmart, expect to get sneezed on.
Yeah.
You should expect. Who's going to sneeze?
I think if you go to a Walmart in Vero Beach, Florida, expect to get sneezed on and expect to get catfished. Those are 2 things that are going to happen to you if you're heading into that Walmart. And if they don't happen to you, you should feel shortchanged.
As sure as there is a magazine rack with butter, rum, lifesavers right by the register, those two things are going to happen.
It gonna happen.
They fixtures, y'all. Not blaming the victims here, but just know what you're walking into in a Vero Beach Walmart. That's what we're saying.
That's it.
2 suspects, Amos Troublefield.
That is not his name.
And Antonio Green. With a name like that, you knew they were going to get in trouble. And
Amos Troublefield and David Mistakebaum.
I was saying, with a name like that, you knew they were going to get in trouble. I'm, of course, referring to Antonio Green.
Yes.
Amos Troublefield.
Well, the grass is always greener.
Right.
On the Troublefield
side. Amos Troublefield is like a name for the ages. It's almost Faustian.
It's the Otis Spunkmeyer of names.
Of non-cookie making troublemaking.
Yeah.
Of instead of cookie making, he's troublemaking.
Yes.
Both 18 were captured on store surveillance footage recording.
They're not even teenagers anymore. They're just douchebags.
Recording themselves coughing while spraying Febreze from under their armpits onto customers in the store. The spraying of air freshener on a victim who apparently intended to replicate the expulsion of the
Right, we
droplets
get
of
it. They were trying to act like they're sneezing.
Who's writing this thing? Greenlee? Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Why does their snot smell like lavender? Someone should have said.
Beautiful.
Summer breeze. Who is sneezing Summer breeze? Because they are fairies. When questioned, Troublefield and Green told police. Troublefield and Green. That's the new Rizzoli and Isles. Told police that they were recording a YouTube video depicting them pretending to cough on somebody, but actually spraying with them Febreze. Okay, spraying them with Febreze.
Fine.
Why so literal? Like, you could have been like, we're describing the fear of a pandemic. Like, be more representative of what you're doing.
18 and they're dumb and they were caught. So
I bet them wasn't them just completely laying on the cards on the table. I bet they thought the cops would be like, that's funny. Get out of here, you guys.
if the YouTube video was the cops beating the hell out of them, like
That's funny. That's funny.
That's a good video.
When a cop asked the teens why they would be coughing on people during the pandemic, they advised that they were just trying to be funny and make their videos for YouTube. Cops don't know.
They don't care about how many subscribers you have.
They think you don't know what funny is. Troublefield and Green were arrested for disorderly conduct and shoplifting. Oh, that happened too?
Oh, they were also stealing stuff.
They probably stole the Febreze. The Febreze probably came from the store.
Yeah, 18-year-olds.
The Febreze is coming from inside the store. Both misdemeanors. The latter charge stemmed from the duo's use of Febreze bottles taken from the Walmart shelf. I didn't even know that. Boom. Next sentence.
There it is.
So they were shoplifting.
Of course.
What are they, city commissioners or planners? Come on, guys. You're better than that. The pranksters were each released from the Indian River County Jail after posting. Guess how much their bond was, Jay?
Jeez.
What would their bond be for the Febreze and sneeze?
Well, they posted it, so I'm going to say $200.
Okay. Get your answers in at home because they posted $1,000 bond.
Ooh.
They're scheduled for arraignment on June 2nd. They should have stocked the shelves, in my opinion. They should have to stock all the shelves. Remember when we worked at Venture?
Oof.
Do you remember Venture? Jay and I had a summer job. We worked at Venture, which was like, I don't even know where you put it. It's like between Target and Kmart,
It's
right?
below Target, above Kmart, more like a Kohl's.
Colesy, Dillard. Was it Dillardsy?
Yeah.
Dillard's too nice.
Yeah.
So they had notions and they sold like school supplies and they sold
It was
greeting
like
cards.
a Target. It was like Target.
It was like a Target, except it like missed the Target a little
It
bit.
didn't have as cool of things as Target.
Remember the woman? This is where we like really understood that we had a St. Louis accent. Was
That's
that
right.
summer that we worked there? She would get on the mic. We used to do this in our stand-up. She would get on the mic every day and she'd be like, "Attention venture shoppers. For the next half hour, our snack bar will be featuring some of our world famous fresh hot popcorn for 49 cents. And as always, thank you for shopping at Venture." I'm on a goddamn break. She would say that and then I got to go on a
49
cents. Cents. So we worked there. That's what it was. So they should have to, and stocking the shelves is always the worst. They should have to stock the shelves and they should have to collect every cart, every stray cart in the parking lot for a year.
Forever.
1 year, every day, 365 days of
They should feel so like the punishment for what they're doing now, for what they've done. And no, they didn't do anything terrible.
No, they just
They
sneezed
didn't
in
put
Febreze.
anyone's life in danger.
No, they were just acting like jerks.
However, I
say-
think the punishment should be inordinately big on this one.
Right.
It should like
The
I'm not
punishment
saying
should be
capital
ridiculous.
punishment, but I think as What would be great?
Okay.
What would be great?
I want to hear it.
Is if the judicial system and the penal system came together to pull the greatest prank on these guys.
Oh my God.
And said, okay, here's the deal. Look, we don't want to do this, but we're in desperate times. We're in a pandemic. We are supposed to, we
Have so many people go in jail.
Crime has gone down because of the pandemic, and we're not logging the hours we need to do. So not only do you guys have to go to jail, but one of you, and you'll have to decide between the two of you, has to go to the electric chair. Then they for
video
days,
it.
for days. They're like, and they get their parents involved,
Yep.
and the parents are like, "You can't do this to my baby," and they're making a documentary about it, and this is insane. And they're trying to get the governor, and they're petitioning the governor. The governor gets involved and is like, "Look, my hands
nothing
are
we can
tied."
do.
There's
And they walk them down
all
to
the things.
the
They
chair.
sit him in the chair.
Sit him in the chair. Put the thing on the head.
They get the sound of electricity
Uh-huh.
going in the room, and then when the kid's crying and shitting himself, they're like, "Got you."
We were just trying to make a funny video for
We're
our
just trying to be
YouTube.
fine. Now we got a great video for YouTube. Thanks a lot.
That would
You
be great.
pissing, shitting little bitch.
That would be great. And it only says to me that like the guy from yesterday who said he had all the bombs should have been like, I was just trying to make a funny video on my YouTube. And maybe that's the way out
That's
of it.
all I'm trying to do.
Just trying to do a funny video on YouTube.
Why am I such a bad person?
All right, there's the first story. Down
books.
in the books. No voicemail today, but we love you guys, and we're going to send you to a little break with some good music from our friends, the band Detroit from Minneapolis from the 90s. Those guys were the best.
Good times.
Sad that they are no longer a band, but guess what? We got a great story on the other side of this break, so stay with us.
You don't realize how much that jello cost me. And you said, let it set. Let the jello set.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. As we mentioned, we do have a YouTube page, Sklarbro Country. Just subscribe to it, spend some time watching all the old videos. Lots of good, every single full podcast video we've done. So please watch those. They're a blast, and it's fun to watch all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And this show, if you're listening to it, thank you very much. If you're watching on YouTube, how you doing?
Thank you.
Let's jump into this story, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like with the quarantine and the stay-at-home orders, the world has been turned on its ear a bit. We've talked a lot about it. You can see the Himalayas from India. There are flamingos in
Landing in,
Mumbai,
like, a
landing
city.
in Mumbai.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You've got sheep playing on playgrounds. You've got bears doing reverse Goldilockses going into houses.
A reverse Goldilocks does sound like a
So
sexual
sexual.
act. Like a
Reverse.
sexual.
I broke her chair. I slept in her bed.
I poured porridge into her.
Nothing was
Rectum.
hot enough or cold enough. It's a topsy-turvy world.
Wild.
Expect the unexpected. Like if I heard elephants run through your town, that should be you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, that's
that's
pandemic.
happening.
These are the times.
These are the times we live in. And that's where this next story comes from. Washington City.
Is that in Washington?
I don't think
Like,
so.
I think Washington City
can't be in Washington.
Washington City is what a dumb person thinks is the capital of America.
Right. You know, Washington City.
We gotta get these politicians out of Washington City.
Washington City.
You get out here to Washington City.
A grandmother of 8 in Washington City and resident Rebecca Becky Colette said she was surprised when she walked into her kitchen Tuesday morning and saw a man she didn't know wearing nothing but boxers and socks eating food from her fridge.
This is a reverse Goldilocks.
I love that they had to, in that article, make sure that we knew Rebecca's wasn't called Rebecca, but Becky.
And
like,
how-
we couldn't go on with the story being like, hang on a second. They said Rebecca, but she has to go by a different name.
And then like, wait. Super important as she's stumbling upon this man. How many grandkids does she have?
She's got 8.
Okay.
Who, by the way, the grandkids never make an appearance in this story. I'm just
She's
going
the
to say.
octo grandmom. Right?
So, and by the way, I'm sure the grandkids weren't anywhere near the house. It
No,
was just her.
they have nothing to do with this story, but glad you put it in there.
Make sure they say my name is Becky and make sure they know I have 8 grandkids.
8 grandkids. Put it down.
Like people who knew her would be like, hang on a second. Is that Becky? Who are they talking about?
Oh, Becky. It's Becky. That's who they're
Or
talking
people who don't know her, who is everyone, would say, hang on a second. I feel like Rebecca sounds too formal for this person in Washington City.
Yeah.
There has to be another name. Oh, thank God.
Oh.
Thank God they let us know, that her name. But I wish
Washington City to me is It is an approximation of a city. It's not a real place.
I wish this article would refer to her as her friends or her 8 grandchildren refer to her. Oh, they do.
Okay.
Colette has lived at a home on 100 North Block of Main Street. You mean Becky? I'm sorry. Who are we talking about here? Colette or Becky?
Colette is her last name. 3 first names.
Rebecca Becky Colette. For about a year, which is directly behind the Washington City Police Department. This is not a real city. I'm sorry. This is not a real city.
Okay, so she's right behind the
She
police.
tells ABC4 News she would have been terrified if it weren't for his quiet and non-aggressive demeanor. He was very docile. You could pet him, Jay.
Yeah.
You could scratch him right
Well,
behind
not
the ear.
while he's eating. Not while he's eating cereal. You don't want to get too close to his mouth. But yes.
Just in his boxers. Colette, again, I don't know who this is. Are you talking about Rebecca or Becky or Colette? I have no idea. Said she has no idea at this point how he got into her home as there was no clear point of entry. Clear point of entry sounds like was she in the military? What if that's the way she talks dirty?
Clear point of entry sounds like a new Liam Neeson movie. Clear.
There's no clear point of entry. You don't just get 8 grandchildren without having a clear point of entry. Am I right, Becky?
For all we know, she could have an only child who had 8
kids.
children.
She told ABC4 News that she went on a walk with her friend Monday afternoon and they may have left the door unlocked. Well, there's your clear point of entry. It's like, I love there's no clear. That's pretty clear. That's pretty damn clear that there was maybe.
Here's your clear point of entry when we left the door unlocked.
I would say it's unclear whether or not there was a clear point of entry, but there may have been.
Right. They may have been the clearest point of entry.
Or he could have gained access while she was unloading her groceries with her door wide open. There's another clear point of entry. Come on, Becky. What are you doing? When you left the door unlocked or you left it open, there is a clear point of entry.
Yes.
She also said it's unsure how long you've been staying in the home, adding that she walked downstairs to her basement Monday afternoon and did not see the sleeping bags or the pillow up. This is a gal who does not take notice of that. I think it was there and she just didn't see it.
She's sleepwalking through her life.
She's like, I went down to do laundry and totally did not smell the homeless guy sleeping on the makeshift shantytown that he had built in my basement.
How could I miss that? I don't know.
She believes that maybe he stayed Monday night, but also stated he could have been hiding in one of her closets in the basement. For how long, Becky? For how long? How could he have with no clear point of entry, Jay? I don't understand.
Yes.
Quote, I was very surprised. He seemed a bit surprised. Why would he have been surprised? When you enter someone else's house, he shouldn't be surprised
at all.
He should be on high alert that someone would come
or
and see him.
As soon as she walks in, he should be like, I've been waiting for you.
Becky had to speak up after she registered his surprise, and she should have been surprised at his surprise at seeing her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. At that point, you should be like, okay, you should not be surprised. And I'm actually surprised.
I'm surprised that you're surprised at all.
Surprised.
That's what's surprising me.
Yeah.
Or my name isn't Rebecca Becky Colette. Becky then said, and then I just said, I need you to leave. Who said she opened her sliding door to her backyard and watched him walk out. But somehow he didn't have a mean face. He had a soft face.
That's what she said?
Blonde dreadlocks down to his shoulders. Yeah, he wasn't mean. He was just a guy down on his luck.
I feel like another white guy in dreads.
Right. I feel like
he's half the population of San Diego.
That's right. Or Santa Cruz. She just opened the sliding glass door and watched him walk out. I wonder if they said anything to each other. Just open them, and he knew what to do when she opened.
Put a little Sublime song on his iPod and just walked out,
waltzed right out. Or maybe he grabbed his sleeping bag and split. Did he grab it at least?
She wasn't paying attention, just like she hasn't been paying attention to her life for the past
year.
Or
7 of her 8 grandchildren. Colette said she watched him sit against the wall of her home with his head in his hands as she called the police. Why didn't he just leave?
Yeah.
He's just sitting there outside. What is he doing?
Head is in his hands.
I feel like the open sliding glass door was enough. Get out. Go on. Get.
We had a bee in our house today that we didn't realize, and I opened the sliding glass door and I was like, get out.
Yeah. And did
Go.
it?
I don't know. I don't even know if it got
Did it
out.
have a soft face?
It went out on a chair and just put its head in its hands.
I feel like she was grandmothering him a little.
Yeah.
Maybe she's going to consider him like 8. This is like 8.5 grandchildren, like 2.5 men.
Right.
I walked downstairs to find and to find his shoes, and I find my sleeping bag, my pillows, and some food Colette added, peanut butter, an orange, some cheese, some of my vitamin C packets. This guy's eating great.
He's doing great.
He's actually choosing really good foods, in my opinion.
Some of her vitamin C packets. He's trying to take care of himself.
Now she notices the sleeping bag. I love how healthy this guy was eating,
He was
right?
being healthy.
Officers with the Washington City Police Department arrested the suspect. Did they have to arrest him? Did they have to?
I think he's already off the property.
Couldn't they have given him just a warning? I'm sure he would have abided.
Put him in a shelter.
He's got a very soft face.
He does.
Now get ready for his name because it's perfect. With a name like this, it was almost preordained that he was going to do this. You ready?
Troublemaker.
Nope. Paul Swindler.
So we had
Troublefield,
Amos Troublefield and Paul Swindler.
33 at approximately 9:44 a.m., according to the police.
33, the age that Jesus was when he died.
33 is the age that Jesus was when he got those dreadlocks.
When he slept in someone's basement.
Colette said she showed officers several boxes that he had been through to try and find something of value. Okay, now I'm starting to feel like maybe
All right, so
maybe
he
swindled
rifled
her
through some stuff.
He swindled her out of some stuff now.
Okay, so now that's why he's arrested, man.
Authorities wrote in arresting documents that she gave them a few bags Swindler had left in the basement, which included you ready for this?
What did he leave?
A counterfeit $5 bill. How far are you going to get on that? I mean, it's just small enough that
you can use it.
Right? But how far are you going to get on $5 these days?
I think it's the kind of thing that you put into like a vending machine and
low
then get
stakes.
real change out of
Counterfeit 5.
Counterfeit 5.
Counterfeit 5, low stakes. Come on. Could be a name. Counterfeit 5 is a great name for a rockabilly band.
Totally.
You see Counterfeit 5 play tonight? Yeah, we're line dancing. Counterfeit 5 is playing down
How
tonight.
many people are in the band?
6.
Ooh.
6 people in Counterfeit 5.
Right.
Curiously, I had about 100 books down there. He was reading my journal from the 80s. Wait, what?
Oh my God.
He was reading your 80s journal, Becky? Come on.
I bet she was a nut in the 80s.
What if
It's
Swindler
30 years ago.
What if Swindler was just trying to gain all the knowledge he could about 1980s Becky so he could use the Counterfeit 5 and the 1980s journal knowledge to just take over the world? Like with those two things,
He could take over her world. I don't think he could take over the world at large. I think he can maybe just take over her world, and that's about it.
Colette says she believes everything happens for a reason, even if that reason is difficult to understand. No, it doesn't. Everything does not happen for a reason. This is some random stuff right here.
This pandemic, what's the reason behind this pandemic? You want to try and assign a reason to it?
Some stuff is just random, Rebecca. That's right. We used your real name, Rebecca.
Yeah. Miss Colette, some things are just random.
I'm not afraid in the house, except now when I get up in the morning, I think I better get dressed. No telling who's going to be in the kitchen. Hilarious. Who is this lady? She's 8 grandchildren deep on this. Although you never can tell who's going to be in your house.
Maybe get an alarm.
You never can tell who's going to be in your house reading your 80s journal, eating your peanut butter, and eating your vitamin C
You
packets.
don't know.
You never can tell. Police said they learned Swindler had an active warrant for his arrest.
Okay.
And now he's facing felony burglary and forgery charge. All right, so he should be arrested.
Good.
I
Arrest
amend
him.
that he should be arrested right now.
Arrest
Why didn't he
this
just leave?
man.
Why didn't he just run out of there?
Because he's, I don't know, maybe
He
he's
almost swindlered the situation with such a soft face.
but he is, maybe reevaluating all of his choices.
That's
at
how
this point.
Swindler gets you, Jay.
He
That's
opens
how
your
he
heart.
gets you. That's
He
right.
opens
He
your
makes
heart.
you fall for his soft face, his blonde dreadlocks.
Yes.
And boom, you forget about his forgery and arrest warrants. That's how Swindler is going to swindle you.
The swindler is going to swindle you.
In these crazy times, this is the way we'll end it right now. You have to expect the unexpected, and you have to, on some level, expect to get swindlered.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen to more people than we know. And more people, and it's not just Paul Swindler who's going to be doing the swindling.
Nope. It could be Amos Troublefield.
Could be anyone.
All right, guys, we are about to take off and have a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend when this thing dropped. And here we go. Starting off another week. Thank you. Wash your hands. Punch a water faucet. Wash your hands. Stay socially distanced, but stay connected somehow.
Don't get infected somehow.
Be protected somehow. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da-da.